welcome today. Welcome, Nancy. She just came in. There is a few people still missing, but they will join in and follow along. I like to spend like a little bit of time like that, like thinking about, what the teaching has to bring into our life, right? Because there is so many books. I don't know if you're like me, but I love learning. I have like many books on the go. I'm doing many things. And sometimes I'm wondering, I'm like, what's the purpose of all of that? I love spirituality. I love to go deep, right? But at the end of the day, we do life in the physical form. And despite the fact of being multidimensional being, we have chosen to be here into this dimension, and it's not always easy. And many times, because of protection, we disconnect. We disconnect from life. You can see, imagine like the roots, like this powerful cord grounding you into the ground to somehow get untethered. And we're like those head floating around, thinking a lot, going through the motion of things quite in automatic mode. And we're kind of freaking out. There is a lot of anxiety there, but we're not really in the driver's seat. If you can imagine that, to have an harmonious life and I want to say fulfilling life, optimally, we want to be the driver of our life. And sometimes it's scary. Sometimes we're like, no, today I don't feel it. I'm gonna check out. And we're not really, obviously consciously doing that in our lives to be like, oh yeah, today I will be here, but not really here, right? But we're doing it every day, a little bit, and we don't realize it. And the example that I use quite often would be this example where, on regular basis, you're driving from your work to your home, let's say, and you're thinking, okay, I need to stop for grocery shopping. I need to stop for grocery shopping. And you take your car and you start driving and you go into the motion of things and you arrive home and you're like, oh, what just happened? Who was driving the car? Like literally, right? And so we have moments like that in the day that it's not of consequence. But when you realize how much we're doing it, we need to find ways to bring ourselves back to this driver's seat. And so coming back to that is coming to a state of presence, coming back into our body. I don't know you, but for me, my body and me, gosh, it's a long story of love and hate and love story and war and I love you, I hate you, right? Like there is so much there, and I learned to disconnect from it, and it's been quite an adventure to come back to my body, to befriend my body again, to be like, all of that is me, it's my temple, and to shift the gear and to really spend more time into the practice of things. And we will go into, we won't do it all because there is so many ways to do it and to come back into a state of presence, right? There is physical ways, there is emotional ways, there is mindfulness, right? Because our mind is so full, we need technique, right? To get us into a reset and a place of calm and a nurturing state, right? So, in what I see every day, and you saw this little red pyramid everywhere in what I was doing in my Root Chakra course, is because most likely, and you see that in the Western world, unfortunately, we are like that energetically. we're quite imbalanced. And if you think about the image that you could have seen out there about your energetic body and about particularly your aura is typically this a beautiful egg that you have around you. So it's supposed to be round, but like it's kind of like evolving and moving, and it's also carry our stories. So it has like everything is encoded into our aura. And so many times when I'm working with my client and I go down and feeling the aura and having this kind of check to feel around like, oh, where do we start? What's the state of the situation? I go down and there is almost nothing. And so the consequence of that is that, like we're never really coming back to this state of rest and digest, this state of safety. And you will hear that all around you, right? People are getting stressed, anxious, hard time to sleep, like all of that. There is so many parameters, but the many parameters that you can identify are actually stuff that get us ungrounded. You can take your phone and scroll forever. You're not in your body anymore. Time doesn't exist anymore, right? Like it's very interesting, like what's happening with like technology right now. But it's one of many examples that unfortunately take us out of our life, you know. And so we're those reverse pyramid and we're not really connecting the dots. And um, like people are very intellectual and think that it's complicated to be grounded, right? My client this morning, they were asking, how does it feel to be grounded, right? Like, what do you mean, right? Like, because like we talk about that all the time, but really, how does it feel, right? So we're going to start with like a little experience, right? We're going to get into the body. So I'm just going to invite you to get comfortable. And we're just going to take a few minutes just to see the shift, right? We were into the motion of the day. And now we're just going to take a few moments to ground. You can stay seated, you can lay down. You just need to be comfortable. And first, you want to bring your attention toward your breath. So you can go in, maybe lower your eyes or maybe close your eyes and bring your attention toward your breath. And just imagining that each time you exhale, you are landing a little bit more in your body. And very gently with the breath, you can maybe start putting your hand on your belly and bring your attention, your intention, and guiding your senses into the lower parts. And gently breathing into the belly. Allow your belly to relax. It's always good to sigh and to gently breathe out, making a sound if it feels good. And we're going to use the imagination and visualization. So you can imagine your roots at the base of your pelvic floor, in between your hips. And usually we are imagining a beautiful red ball. It's kind of like a way to easily connect with the root chakra. Imagining a beautiful, radiant, red energy ball, gently pulsating. And so on your next exhale, you will imagine that you're dropping a cord down into the ground from your root, down, down, down. And you can go as deep as you want, in any place you want. You might see the different layers of the ground. And you can even arrive at the center of Mother Earth. And you can take a moment to take these cords and somehow anchor yourself down into Mother Earth's core, making a solid connection, a solid link, feeling the support and the Mother Earth nurturing energy all around you. Nice. And from there, very gently, we're going to leave the cord anchored down into Mother Earth, but we're going to bring back our consciousness up into our body, breathing in some of this beautiful earth energy with us, bringing this energy into our body, reaching the root. And as you are breathing, you can imagine your root getting filled by a beautiful, nurturing, motherly energy. And you can even let it overflow and connect, infuse all the cells in your body. And just take a moment to notice there, to notice your state, comparing it with a few minutes ago. Notice how it feels in your body, maybe connecting with like an emotion. How does it feel to be grounded? You can gently bring yourself back into your space. No rush. Gently move your body, maybe starting with your fingers and your toes. Maybe bringing a stretch, following the body. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. And so if you can like chime into the chat and let us know what you've been noticing, the before, the after. There is a few words that could describe how does it feel to be grounded compared to before. I know that for me it's always a sense of like I have arrived. I have arrived home. Like it's a very it's powerful, but at the same time it's very um, like soft and welcoming. So what about you guys? And you can unmute yourself if you want. Is anybody has felt like an expansion somehow? Centered, yes, definitely. That is a practice to bring you to center for sure. What about you, Noel?
Deeply at peace.
Yes,
It was really,
yeah.
really nice. Yeah.
We have like other comment in the chat. Held, definitely. Right? Like it's powerful and soft, right? Like we have this image of the ground, right? Of like the strong mountain, but it's actually very nurturing to be in this state. And just, like we're gonna come back. I like to alternate, we go into the brain, we go into the body, we go into the brain, go into the body. And I wanted to share with you, okay, technology, let's do it. Hopefully, hopefully it works. So I wanted to share with you this beautiful pyramid of needs. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Maslow theory, but it's a very interesting theory. And sorry for the color that actually upside down for us spiritual people that know the chakras, but the idea is very interesting, right? Like for Maslow, we have like this first step, right? Like what he called the physiological needs. We need air, we need water, right? We need food to eat. We need that. This is a necessity. If we don't have that, we cannot chill pretty much, right? Like we cannot, let's say, have community time or, like maybe doing art and develop and evolve, right? There is safety needs, right? Personal security, like all about health, resource, property, like house, like that is the root chakra, right? That is actually like a very, um, okay, that's actually like a place where, we cultivate safety, right? So think about home really when you plant your roots somewhere. I was having like a dear friend for a few weeks. She was living with me, and we talk a lot about that. That She was living here and there, and she loved the freedom, but at the same time, she needed to plant her roots, right? It's very, very important. And so from there, we bloom. Think about like this seed that grow the roots. From there, we can grow and bloom. And finally, we have the other stage of love and belonging that are the necessity of the human being, right? It's a big part of being human. All about friendship, intimacy, family. And from there, there is also a lot of like power and self love, like the self esteem, the recognition, the freedom, the strength. And then there is like what like we call like the last stage, the self actualization that you could imagine our upper chakras journey, right? And so it's very important to realize that we cannot really go against our instinct. If we feel unsafe, we cannot pretend that we are safe. The body never lies, even if it doesn't, we don't really like it, if it doesn't feel comfortable. It's very important to be able to be connected and aware of what's happened in our body, to be able to, you know, do changements if changements there need be, but like, you know, to be able to find like this place of alignment that we want into our life. And I know that in my past life, I was trying to fit myself in a box. And from all this work, what's happening is the opposite. I'm not fitting in the box. I mean, like sometimes I need to to do the work again, right? But like I'm trying to make my life fit for me. And it's a different way to think about life, right? But all of that is starting from a place of safety, security, which is like 101 in evolution and expansion. So I wanted to share about this little pyramid, which is like a very nice concept about evolution. You can like put that in everything you do, really. So if we go back into a bit of like reflection, because like, you know, there is like our root chakra, we have intuitively go there. We have like trying to have a sense of how it was. We have like, we did like a very short practice, right? To shift gear and find ourselves into a state actually of safety and relaxation. And from there, it's very easy to ground. And really, sometimes, guys, I'm asking myself, what is the egg and what is the hen, right? Because safety and security bring you grounding. When you ground, you bring yourself safety and security, right? Like you see, like the relationship, so you can use that anytime. For example, something that I do and I love it, nobody knows, only you and my family, right? I have like a very soft blanket. I love this blanket. It's super soft. When I travel, I take it with me. Um, it gives me so much comfort, you know, especially when I'm not at home, right? In my root safe environment. I have like my soft blanket, and my inner little girl is just so happy and feeling so good. And from that, I'm getting the presence into my body. I'm not I'm not thinking about the anxiety, the life buzzing, or all of that. Just having like a very simple, you know, sensorial, soft blanket can really get me there super easily. So really, guys, you can do that with anybody, right? Like little one. We can play with little one. and get them grounded and get them into their body. So let's go a little bit more into your own root chakra. I'm kind of curious about what is the sense that you have about, is your root chakra balanced or not? Because don't you worry, it's always changing, it's always evolving, right? We like a musical instrument with our emotion, we're expanding, we're contracting. But there is like a fine balance that we're trying to keep, to keep our foundation solid, right? And what I've noticed in my practice is that we have a lot of deficient root chakra, not enough energy going there. There is very, very rarely excessive root chakra. It can happen for time being, maybe a situation, an extreme situation, something that gets you very agitated, reactive, aggressive, that somehow it has to push you to create boundaries almost, right? And so, like there is this fine line, but always realize that this is not bad. Deficiency is not bad, right? Excessiveness is not bad. This is a sign. This is the result of something, right? And we're trying to reach the root of things, when we do this work. So, like deficiency, imagine yourself, you contract, you're trying to protect yourself, right? The root is closing down. We're not feeling safe, right? We're not in expansion at all. We're making ourselves smaller. All of that is protection, right? And we can get also the opposite, right? Where we overcompensate, right? Like we are excessive because we feel we have this need somehow to protect, but in a more aggressive way, right? We have like maybe a more passive introvert and maybe like a more aggressive way to protect and putting the energy out. So from your perspective, guys, where are you situating yourself most of the time? And I mean, you know, it can like always evolve, right? But like what we call deficient, it will be more on the tendency of sluggishness, being feeling like more passive, maybe block, maybe a bit numb, right? Because we're disconnected. Um, we will be more prone to anxiety. We will be withdrawal, right? The opposite, when we are in excessive root chakra, we're very agitated, very reactive, maybe a bit aggressive, right? Um, so you are prone to anger, to greed, to work alcoholism, right? Like just like extreme behavior. So how is it for you? I have like a little message here. So, oh, it was like from my other question about like how does it feel to be grounded? Yeah, peaceful.
So I relate to being deficient and excessive in my root because I feel like I'm both of those things, Blair.
Yeah, yeah. And like it can depend sometimes even from people to people because we always adapt, right? Like always remember like your aura is kind of like an extension of yourself. And it's actually a nice way to see if you're safe or not. So the aura, most likely, especially if you're sensitive and get overwhelmed easily, the aura will be like, am I self with you? Am I self here? Am I self here? Right? We're poking around. So we're interconnecting our aura. And we're like, okay, I'm self with, yeah, you self with me. Okay, I'm self with you. Right? Like, we have like this way to, it goes beyond ourselves. Right? And so my, my behavior with my parents, it's very clear, right? Like with my mother, I might be a little bit more introvert. And with my father, I'm just like, like, like my inner teenager is going out. So that would change, right? It's not like something that is frozen. What is interesting is like to notice, right? Like the different dynamic, the different pattern, because like all of that, most likely it's automatic stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, if I can share, I think on for the most part, I feel deficient for the most, like normally, I would say, um, because like based on your description, like the sluggishness and the kind of, I think I'm more in my upper chakra, like I'm overthink quite a bit, but I also, I'm not sure, like recently I've been much more physically active and I feel much more like in the lower parts of my being. And it brings that sense of groundedness, and it brings just this sense of like, yeah, like not overthinking, not anxious, that sort of thing. But when you were talking about the excessiveness, that was really interesting because when I mean, I think I have experienced that from time to time, and it's usually when I'm like I feel like I have to make myself angry in order to carve boundaries or like hold strong boundaries when that's not actually necessary. But it feels like that's the only way I can do it, is to like make myself angry. So that was interesting the way you described that. Something to reflect on.
Yeah, absolutely. And in what you say, I also recognizing myself, right? And I feel it's, like for highly sensitive people that feel the others, right? Think about like family units, right? We feel everybody. So we really want everybody to feel good, because like if people don't feel good, we don't feel good, right? So there is like a transfer there that I feel, and for women especially, right? Like the pleasing, the always being, quite easygoing, and we get that, but like it's kind of like deplete ourselves until we have nothing to give, and then we go on the other side of the spectrum, and anger shows up, right? But like anger is a sign that boundaries have been crossed,
Mm, mhm.
right? And I had so many conversations with my father, telling him exactly that. I'm like, Dad, we talk about it, and I'm mad that I need to be mad again
Yeah.
to show you that you again have crossed my boundaries, because if I
Mm,
just tell you, it has no consequence. So that's a little gymnastic there,
mm.
that I saw myself do during my teenage time quite a bit. Yeah.
So what does it look like to have that sense of like strong boundaries without feeling the um that excessiveness? What does that look like, if you could describe it?
Yeah, well, so that's kind of exercising yourself, because
Yeah,
you're not used to say no. Probably saying no is somehow not easy.
yeah.
And so you're gonna have to say little no before you're okay saying the big one,
Yeah, so it's just
right?
that process of getting more comfortable with the boundaries. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. And there is ways to say no, right? Like for me, for example, I'm deeply empathetic, I'm say yes to things right away, and and so now I'm just pacing myself, and I might say something like that. That's great, like I might want to do that, but let me just check on myself a little bit. I need to think about it. And it's finding ways to, yeah, like, I mean, because I found myself saying yes to everything, and that's why like I got burned out so many times. But like there is like an exercise there, and you can actually, because you're this forest lady, I know that. So you can go into the forest and you take a tree, and you push the tree. You push it, right? And you say no. And just notice what's come up. And you can say big no. You just go for it, right? You can make yourself very angry and everything, and you're just curious about it. And most likely, like your body gonna react, because where's like your nervous system gonna be like, whoa, 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 whoa. We thought it was not good to go there, right? So exercise yourself. Watch yourself in the mirror in the morning. No, no.
Okay, I'll try it. Thanks, Fleur.
Okay, so let's go into the world of affirmations a little bit, because affirmations are a very easy way to tap into something else, right? And I feel they're a little bit misunderstood, because affirmation is somehow, it's not a fake it until you make it affirmation. Affirmation is about, like declaring something. And as you declare it, you feel it, you taste it, you make it your own. And you can do that with the no, right? But the thing is like to see if your body is saying yes or not. Okay. So, and what I mean by that is like, for example, if well, let's just pick one of the list. Okay, easy. I feel safe and secure. Okay, and so if we go, I love doing that. I just connect with my body, take a few breaths, and I will say to myself, I feel safe and secure. And I will just notice if my body is like aligned with it and it's a yes, or if my body is like, no. So that's why I say you cannot really fake it, right? You cannot fake the groundedness. You cannot say I'm safe and it be not safe, right? So what we want to experience with those affirmations is actually the feeling of it. And it's really powerful because it's rewire your brain. And when we go into the emotional system, right? Like we can talk about emotion and blah, 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 but really when we feel it, we go deep into the limbic brain, where it's the place, there is no words. We're not into the intellect. We're into the feeling of things. And this is where safety resides, right? Into like this place of like deep, deep, deep instinct. So that's why I say like, you cannot fight it. We need to work with it. So I'm going to tell you a few affirmations. And I just would like you, I just invite you to, like tune into your body, put a hand on your body if it feels good, but you don't have to, right? You might want to close your eyes and take a moment to tune in. And I'm going to tell you a few affirmations, and let's see how it sounds for you. Now I am grounded. I belong in this world and I have found peace. I trust more. I fear less. I feel centered. I am connected to my body and trust its wisdom. I have what I need. I am infinite possibilities. The earth provides a safe place for me. I have abundance in my life. And you can gently come back. And I would love to know if there is like a particular affirmation, if one way or another you felt your body reacting to it. If it was a big yes, a big no, how was it for you?
I can start us off, maybe. The one that you said about being, I think, safe on this earth. I am something about being safe on this earth. That one I felt like this, like almost like I couldn't breathe in my sort of chest area.
I'm gonna repeat the affirmation for you like that.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, I mean, I'm gonna tell it to you, but I'm gonna actually, and I didn't because I have a big list, so I give you all the list. But I didn't um, tell them all, but I definitely say the earth provides a safe place for me. Was it this one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yes. I put it into the chat, Nancy.
I liked the I belong in this world and I have found peace.
Yes. And so see, like notice like the feeling of it. Notice how it was actually similar to the feeling that you had during the grounding moment, the grounding exercise, right? And how it's similar and how it's easy. You just have to, you go there, you have your affirmation, put it on your mirror. And in the morning, you're like, right, I remember. I am safe, right? Did you have a favorite one, Nancy? Yeah, like, yeah, this one is huge. Belonging in the world and like the peace and feeling accepted, right? Like love and belonging are two essential needs that we have as human beings. And very often we get them like cross-wired. And unfortunately, it takes a lot of work to go back to authenticity because of it. Because we build a persona to make sure we are safe and belong to the tribe and that we are loved, but it's not really us. And so it takes a little bit of time to deconstruct that and feeling safe doing so. Yeah. So we're gonna now go to the last part of this root chakra journey. I have a little guided meditation that I want to do with you. It won't be too long, probably like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And at the end of this meditation, I will put a music that I love. It's the sacred frequency, if you know it. It's the 417 hertz. And I love the 417 hertz, 4 sound healer. It's a frequency that you use when you have physical pain, emotional pain. Um, People target pain with this frequency, but it also do a bunch of other stuff, and it heals from the past and supports change and gratitude. And you can fall asleep, Maria. It's totally fine. And with the music, you might fall asleep, so it's okay. So yeah, don't be surprised. I will start, like the meditation without music because I just want to make sure you hear me okay. And then I will put the music. I really advise you to have some headphone if you can, because the music is a particular music that will really impact the brainwave, your brainwave. So I really would like you to enjoy that, and you can make yourself as comfy as possible, and we will soon start. Okay, so we're gonna begin, and you can start by gently closing your eyes and taking a deep breath through your nose. Another breath, filling your lungs and holding at the top just for a few seconds, and then slowly exhale. Another breath, gently breathing in, holding at the top for a few seconds. And as you exhale, releasing any tension or stress you might hold on to. Just let it go. And as you continue to breathe, you can bring your attention at the base of your spine, coming back to your root chakra. And you can go back to this beautiful visualization of a bright red light ball at the base of your spine, glowing and pulsing with energy. And as you inhale, you can imagine this light growing brighter, growing stronger. And each inhale, you are feeling more and more your body with warmth and vitality. And at each exhale, you release any blocks, stagnant energy, limited beliefs, or pattern in your life that may block this root chakra. Nice. Now we're going to work with your imagination. So you can imagine yourself standing at the base of a tall mountain. The mountain is beautiful and it's surrounded by lush green trees, and you can feel a gentle breeze on your face. You are feeling safe and secure in this peaceful place, and you know that you are protected and supported by the earth beneath your feet. As you look up at the mountain, you notice a winding path leading up to the summit. You feel a sense of excitement and anticipation as you begin to climb, taking one step at a time, feeling the solid ground beneath your feet, walking calmly step by step. As you climb higher and higher, you begin to feel more confident and secure. Deep in your core, you know that you are capable of overcoming any obstacles, that you are supported by the earth and the entire universe. As you reach the summit, you feel a sense of accomplishment and pride. You look out at the breathtaking view, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the beauty and the abundance of the world around you. Take a few deep breaths, feeling the energy of the mountain and the energy of earth flowing through your body. Know that you are safe and secure, and that you have the strength and resilience to overcome any challenges that may come your way. Allow yourself to melt with the frequencies. Allow yourself to melt with the frequencies. In your own time, you can open your eyes. If you feel tired and want to go to bed, just go to bed. I wanted to spend a little bit of time to know about your routine and how your root is feeling. Anyone fall asleep during the during the time?
I feel like at the beginning I had a lot of buzzing in my body and I couldn't really settle. But after the music and just laying down, I feel a lot softer and relaxed and settled.
Yeah, yeah, like from from like just going into softness, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely feel more grounded. I actually was more awake and with it than when you were doing all those affirmations. I
Hmm.
completely left my body when you did those affirmations. I was gone somewhere. I don't know where, but gone. So this is very, I felt the grounding in this. So does that
And
mean,
we're all different, right?
yeah,
So we're all have, methods that are easier for us. It's all about exploring and finding what suits us, right? But I would be inquisitive with the affirmation to be like, is it not your thing? Or does the affirmation somehow trigger your subconscious that you wanted to build somewhere else?
yeah, it definitely triggered something.
But sometimes it's so hard to see that, like we're disconnecting and actually are all subconscious that is probably 95% of who we are,
Right.
like check out on us, right? So, um, yeah, we cannot like fight this. This is very strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just shared the course, the Root Chakra course. So some of you already have the course, but if you don't have it, in the chat I shared the link where you will have the all chakra course with if you want like to go deeper into the different techniques, having like another meditation and working on this root chakra because it's really a, a practice, a little bit here and there, right? To teach the nervous system, right? To be like, oh, actually we're okay. Actually we're totally fine. Actually the universe has my back. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
I have a question for you, Fleur.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that meditation and the music was very beautiful. And I found that the visualization just sort of like carried on through the music. That was really nice. And I have this question because I often have this impulse And I'm wondering if it's like a disconnection or if it's because it felt very grounded to me. But as I was visualizing, I felt like this, I want to say like a unicorn or something like that, that was like very grounded to the earth, but was also flying. Like it had wings and it was flying. And as I was picturing like ascending to the top of this mountain, there was this desire to fly, like fly off the mountain. And I was like, I didn't at the time, it felt really good. And I felt really grounded actually, because it wasn't just flying. It was like I had like 4 feet also. But I, as you were speaking earlier, I was like, I wonder if that's like a disconnection from the root.
I feel it's really personal, right? When we go into those realms, like all the imagery that come,
Yeah.
like from our psyche is very personal. And so
Mhm.
for me, unicorn is like, right? It's not really like a grounded
Yeah.
energy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is also the fact that, like, as I was talking about the flower that root and start to bloom and emerge
Yeah. That's
energetically, when you ground, you can finally rise,
yeah,
right?
that was the feeling that it had. But I noticed that I'll just reflect on it because I just noticed whenever I do this kind of visualizations, there's always this impulse. Like I often find myself just sort of like flying around. And so I think, yeah, maybe there's something to explore there. But it did feel like what you were describing because there was like this heftiness of the strength of like a horse, like a horse is really like heavy and strong.
Yeah.
But then it had like unicorn has wings, so it's like also able to fly. So anyways, I'll think about it more.
That would yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. That would be like a wonderful symbol for that actually. I feel
Yeah.
the unicorn kind of like Pegasus with like, you know,
Yeah.
um yeah, beautiful. Stay on it. Maybe it's your like in shamanic belief, right? Like we have like all these spirit team of guides with animals and even the animals that, we don't see with our eyes. So
Mhm.
call the dragons and the unicorns and all those beauties, because they help big time into the other realm.
Yeah. Thank you.
I would love, to offer you to continue and maybe to come next month for the second chakra, the sacral chakra, and to explore as well, the sacral chakra. I have like a whole course prepare about chakras and stuff and blah blah blah. And um, I resisted a long, long time because I didn't want to do chakra courses, right? I was like, no, 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 I'm not going there. But I feel there is like a need somehow, even if like there is so much information on the internet. If you want to find it, it's there. But I try to make it that you can bring it into your life and use the tool and find, like the why. Why are we doing all those things, right? Um, so I will send you a little invitation with like the root chakra course. If you haven't had copy it from the chat, you will receive it tomorrow, and you can go deeper this month, focusing on your root chakra, which is always a good thing. We always go back to it, right? But like when I teach uh, chakras growth, like we take some time to do one after the other. And I feel that if I give all the course to you guys, it might be a little bit overwhelming. There is a question about the music. It was like a 417, yes. It's a 417 music. It's like the sacred frequencies of Pythagoras. And well, 432, it's sometimes connected with the root chakra, but not always. I'm using like sacred frequencies that have like specific use, you know. I mean, this frequency subject is a very deep subject, and see, we can talk about it if you want, because there is so much I can say about that. I'm preparing a workshop online about frequencies and about like all those different frequencies and what is, because people are coming and saying, what's the best frequencies? Is it 432? Is it 528? Tell me what's the best. I just want the best, right? But that's not the way it works. There is all those frequencies and they're all useful. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening, a good night, and I will see you hopefully next month.